is no ASMR. It's just ASS. That's all you get when you come this way without a single R, dude. Like, it's just nice try, A for effort, but like
That's what I thought.
On the Masspole spot. I just don't have it. I can't do it. I got no BB, no ASMR. I got nothing. I got 1, 2, 3. That's all I got. That's what I do.
Well, we'll leave it up.
Can you hear me on this one?
I can hear you on that one, yeah.
Switch to this one then.
All right, let's try this. All right, buddy. We're gonna do a quick switch here.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for Brad.
That's a big yell of it. I'm gonna put my close up, Mr. Yeager.
Now we've got to figure out how to get all of us in the picture.
We'll just have to.
The same ball as like the canister company, right?
Well,
like
well,
the,
and you know and you know like what the commentators call it, right? The ball arena. We call it the sack.
Get the hell out of here! No, you
No,
don't.
I swear to God, yeah, we call it the sack. I swear to God.
All right, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah. End the show, Johnny. Go raid somebody. We're good.
We call,
On aircraft last week.
and I'm glad. I'm glad Coastal gave that lady his 2 inches worth. I mean, 2 cents worth. I'm sorry.
You got Marky bad. I love it. No, that lady, like, she wasn't even discreet about it. No, you can ask John. She, like, literally leaned over John's shoulder and looked at my phone.
And if you could figure that out, how that happened, then that would be absolutely amazing, because I've been trying to figure it out for the life of me, and I just can't. It's just one of those things that kind of happens. Oh, we went live, didn't we?
Yeah, you have to have a good knife sharpener.
I think that's what the necessity of it is. It's just taking too long the other way. Yeah.
They have those laser ones now that can really sharpen it, laser precision.
You can't use like the cheap ones you get from Harbor Freight. You got to use like the actual like knife sharpener, the big spool thing, and actually know how to sharpen your knives.
No, right, because for the effect that I need and I'm going for at this moment in time, like what I was saying, like I can't mess around with that. You got to go top tier, because that's the only way it gets rid of it. It really is. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a thing. Hey, Johnny. What's up, bud? Sorry, I was rambling there. I kind of didn't know what was up. Hey, Hunter.
I gave you a countdown and everything. What do you mean you didn't know what's up?
I was going off on something else, and I'm not going to lie, I wasn't listening.
Clearly.
You ain't got to
Clearly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I'm not even going to dance around the bush. Just own it. Just own it.
All right. It's going to be one of these shows, so let's just change the hat now while we're ahead of the game here.
What are we changing?
No. Yeah. He's taking command. He's taking command of
Somebody's got to command the ship around here.
Oh, Captain.
Look at me.
Captain.
I am the captain now.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
I am the captain now.
Captain Asshole has officially jumped aboard the USS Dudes and Belts, and we are about to wreak some havoc on this show, let me tell you.
Fair enough.
To start things off, Lucas, why the hell is your camera so blurry?
Wow.
That's a good
right
question.
into it, man.
I don't know. Let me see if I can find something to wipe it off.
To wipe it off? You can't wipe it off.
Hungry all the time, Johnny.
What do you mean wipe it off?
You kind of go like that. You focus it on your hand, and then slowly pull it away, and it should come back to focus. And if you pull it back real hard,
he's got the freckle.
It works.
There, is that better?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. All right. You're a freaking genius, Marky Pins.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Say that too loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the Dudes and Belts Recharge here on Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop, and we got ourselves quite a show that we just watched not too long ago. Before we get into everything, let's introduce the panel, as always. On the top left, he is the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine. I don't have any comment for him tonight, so he is none other than the Coastal Crusader.
What's going on, everybody? I'm safe from Johnny's wrath tonight. That's always a good thing. You know what else is a good thing? Starting to feel like old times around here. Caden's got gold. Casanova's got gold. Damon's got gold. They're working together again. I'm starting to get excited, guys. Let's talk about it.
Never mind. I should have definitely been an asshole to this guy. Anyway, on the top right, he is your resident masshole himself. I can't give him grief either because he did fix Lucas's problem, even though he couldn't hear my countdown before we started. He is the one and only referee, Marky Pins.
How we doing, everybody, tonight? What a hell of an episode of Charge Night, episode 461. A lot of things going down, a lot of angles being played. And speaking of angles being played, I think tonight we just saw a masterclass in what happens when people pay attention to the games Preston Skidmore plays. They start to learn how to play them back. We're going to talk about a very important situation very, very shortly.
And on the bottom, yes, I am sparing all my energy for this one. He is your resident encyclopedia of Rocky Mountain Pro, the complainer of all things Slade. And my God, I cannot believe I am going to say this on air right now. A Titus Machiavelli fan. He is the one and only Lucas Bradwell.
You know, Titus was right about you too, just so you know. But
And what is that,
yeah.
sir?
You can guess. He called you a lot more than Captain Asshole. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, that's fine. You think I care?
No,
Probably not.
no. You don't give two damns.
Not
And I didn't
one
even say that.
bit.
Look upon the field in which Johnny gives a damn and notice it is barren, and there are none to give.
Correct. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's try and get through this episode without talking too much about how Lucas wouldn't stop complaining the entire night. To the point that Tony actually told him off halfway through the show, by the way.
That is true. He did. Not that I am a Tony Nomad supporter more than a Lucas Bradwell supporter. I'm not. But Lucas, you can't take that kind of insubordination from a man like that. You've been here far longer. Your credentials are far more credible than anything Tony Nomad is coming into play here in this situation. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd tolerate that level of insubordination. I don't know.
Trying to respect, he's kind of taking the lead on charge, and I'm trying to respect his territory, but he's starting to push my buttons a little bit. He may get a little backlash as well.
All right, and actually, you know what? Before we continue here, I gotta pay my own bills on this show, so give me 2 minutes. The Dudes and Belts airs live every week, Thursday and Sunday nights. Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. over in the mountain regions, and on Sunday for the rewind at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. over in the mountain regions. And as always, wherever you are around the world, do the freaking math. All right, we're good. Anyways.
Okay.
All right. To start the show, apparently Preston got on the skin of Johnny so much that Johnny ended up accepting a NRW championship match against Dylan Anderson.
Well, he said he would have a match.
We'll find out later.
They would.
He said they would get a match. They would
said,
get a match.
He said, okay, you and Dylan will get your match. You'll get your match next week. That was what he said. And even sitting here thinking, I'm like, he can't be serious. He cannot be talking about going into the ring. Boys, we're seeing him on two crutches, kind of wobbly with one leg hanging up in the air. It's obvious he's got a broken wing over here. What'd you think, Coastal?
Johnny's a warrior, but he's a smart warrior.
Thank you.
And number one, how are you a lawyer and you don't understand a restraining order? Johnny said he didn't understand it. He put a restraining order on. This is borderline. No, it's not borderline. It is harassment. You can't call somebody probably 500 times in a week, leaving voicemails, filling up a voicemail box. Johnny's a very important person. He gets a lot of phone calls. He can't be handling Preston 24/7. So he figures out a way, as we find out later on, how to deal with this. And I'm just saying, guys, it's starting to feel like old home week around here. People are working together again. I'm starting to get some good vibes. I'm really excited for this, Lucas. I really am.
I bet you are. But let's give a little props to Mr. Casanova for he outlawyered the lawyer. The wording was perfect because he left himself open for interpretation, which is straight out of the playbook of Preston Skidmore. And
That's page 1 in Preston's book. That's page 1.
Yes. So and to find loopholes and to realize that he could manipulate the rules of the NRW championship, which we find out later on. He played Preston's book better than Preston's played it. And bravo to Mr. Casanova. I love seeing Preston get one over, or get over on Preston every once in a while. That's pretty nice.
I mean, he didn't have a guarantee it was going to work just yet. But if you don't set up the pieces, you can't put anybody into checkmate before the pieces even get there. So taking a chance, big risk reward situation. And we're going to talk about the reward later and how Damon Ace might have gotten a little bit of Damon Ace treatment too. Remember what happened with Johnny Casanova in this whole situation, making him put the career on the line and all that stuff. It's getting a little bit of evenness with Damon. I don't know what to quite think. We're going to talk about that in a little while. We get some feelings on this panel. I got a funny feeling.
I'm excited.
I think we got some feelings.
We got some feelings.
Yeah.
We'll save that to when we actually need to talk about that part of the whole conversation. But before we get into the opening contest of the evening, I want you guys to notice on Twitch, and this is specifically for the dudes over here to make life even more easier for them than they already have it right now. If you look at the Twitch chat, you see Restream Bot. So now I don't have to continue to go back and forth with YouTube to try to explain to you what Mr. Eric Reyes said every 5 minutes on this show. You guys can actually look at it yourself.
Thank you. Yay.
I like it. Thank you, John. Thank you. I noticed that. I wish it was somebody other than the human Chia Pet, but hey, it's okay. We'll see all the comments.
Yeah.
And
you've made it easier for me to ignore what the idiot's saying. So thank you.
You mean the fact that you need an intervention, which, to be honest, he's half right on that.
Maybe a little. Right.
See, there it is. See, Eric Reyes,
I don't know
you're
about
onto something, buddy.
intervention,
First
but maybe
You're onto
admitting
something.
There's a problem.
Right.
Step 1 is admitting that you need help. So that's big of you. Very
And I
big
also
of you.
want to give a shout out to Silver Tsunami over on YouTube as well. How's it going? All right. Izzy O'Reilly going up against C-Rex and Luckette's action to open up the competition here on episode 461.
You know, Lucas, you had said that at one time Izzy is the queen of upsets. And that is true. But this is what happens when you're kind of riding a little bit of a high. You've had some upsets. But this is what happens when inexperience combines with extreme power. Izzy did her very best tonight, but C-Rex is just too strong. She's too big, she's too strong, and she's too experienced. And those three things outweighed the upset factor in this. Izzy had some moments in this match. You know, I'm still excited for the future of Izzy. I think she can be a big deal here in the Lockettes division. I think she has a bright future. But when you run up against an animal, a prehistoric animal such as C-Rex, as was said, with this much power, this much ability, Marky, I don't know how you beat this. C-Rex gets a win here. She stops the roll that Izzy is on. Is C-Rex on a collision course for this extremely volatile, at this point, Lockettes division?
Yes. 100% yes. We have seen that it has been very difficult to even make a pinprick in the armor that C-Rex walks around with. There is no ability to even make a dent more often than not. Many of these matches are people who are throwing everything that they have at her, and her just kind of acting like she just got hit with a couple mosquitoes on a hot summer evening. And that's no disrespect to the Lockettes. That's literally just a credit to what C-Rex brings to the ring. Pure, unbridled aggression and power. And that one move, that asteroid slam, has put down everybody. And I think it's going to continue to put down everybody until somebody figures out the secret, the cheat code, the unlock button. But Lucas, it has seemed to be nigh impossible for any of these Lockettes to really figure it out, simply because I believe it's just the disparity of the size and the power is always giving C-Rex that advantage. It is going to be very difficult, even for somebody like a powerhouse like a Mo, to even get in there and really get it done when the course of time matters.
Yeah, C-Rex is the most dominant Lockhead I think we've ever seen. I mean, we've seen some dominant Lockettes. We've seen women like Skylar Slice, who was the dominant Skylar Slice.
Mhm.
But even she,
Great example.
I don't think was this dominant. Like, she still, there was ways to combat her. I've seen very little ways for anyone to combat what she's been able to throw at him. Big Daddy Mo on a few occasions has been able to kind of escape, survive, but nobody has really been able to actually take the offense and actually, you know, straight out win against C-Rex. And I honestly don't know what it's going to take, because we've seen every single Lockette just get dominated by C-Rex. I think if C-Rex really concentrates and puts her sights set on that Lockette's title, that Lockette's title can be C-Rex's. I don't care. Lola could bring the whole damn law office. I don't think it's going to make a damn bit of difference if that's what C-Rex chooses to do.
And over on YouTube, if you welcome, we all know who that is, says that C-Rex fears the stench. I don't think C-Rex fears anything other than maybe a tranquilizer gun at this point.
All right. We find out shortly after this match that the reason why Jason Noel was not around at NRW to team up with Briscoe Crown is because, unfortunately, he did get into a slight car accident on the way to NRW, so he wasn't able to compete, which is why you saw Two Dame and Briscoe at NRW. However, Jason Noel went up to the higher-ups, a.k.a. D'Lo Brown and Mercury Yaden, and was able to get a tag team match against one Chopper City, who we also find out, and we might as well just say it now. Chopper City officially has a rematch coming in the near future against Cease and Desist. I'm sure you're not too happy about that few welcomed. After reviewing the tapes after what happened at NRW, the decision was made that Chopper City will get a rematch for those titles in the near future.
100% fair is fair. We all saw what happened at NRW, and it was a sketchy at best victory. So I think Chopper City's definitely deserving, but Briscoe and Jason Noel got to understand, you guys beat Chopper City, and they already have a rematch, and they win. That puts you first in line. So this might be the biggest tag team match of either of theirs career right here, because if they win, in my mind, they are the number one contenders, Marky, for the tag team titles if Chopper City is able to beat Cease and Desist.
I mean, personally, in my mind, Cease and Desist are lucky that D'Lo Brown and Mercury Yaden didn't reverse the decision. They're lucky that this is even going to, all right, boys, why don't you guys just do it again? They're very lucky at that. This could very much be a number one contenders match against the tag team champions to test their mettle and see what they got. But you're right, Coastal. This is massive for Briscoe and Jason Noel to get a shot at Chopper City in this moment when Chopper City has already been redeemed the number one contenders, which I also believe is the proper decision. And this is going to set some precedent going forward for people like Preston and other people who are kind of interfering. We're going to talk about somebody next, the prosecutor, who's come out and interfered in more of their fair share of what didn't involve them. This is going to set dangerous precedents for people who do stuff like this, that it's not always going to work out the way they thought it would. And Lucas, this really proves that the fellas upstairs are kind of in charge of this and they're on it, and that everybody's going to have to start really minding their P's and Q's, because it ain't going to work the same as it used to.
Wrongs are being righted, and that's all that I think that we've asked for, is that these injustices, that there has to be a consequence for this stuff happening. Finally, we're starting to see that happen, and it's refreshing, and it's yes. Good that we're getting back on things. Real quick about Jason Knoll and Briscoe Crown. I'm a little surprised, but pleasantly surprised that Jason Knoll, obviously he wants to try to make this work with Briscoe Crown. If he went to D'Lo and got this match set up, obviously he wants to try to make this thing work. And Briscoe sure looked receptive. So you're telling me that maybe there's a way that these guys can reconcile, get on the same page? These are two talented guys. And if they can get on the same page, if they can build some cohesiveness, if they can get, they've got a little history with each other. Remember, they were part of your starting lineup as a group. Maybe this is the new starting lineup, and maybe this is them getting back to being on the same team, the same page. This could be a very formidable tag team if both of them are working together, and if they can somehow find some common thread. That this could be a team to watch for, guys.
It seems like it's Jason Knoll more changing the attitude, at least what we saw on the video here, that it's more Jason kind of, because even Briscoe's been the dude trying to give it the old college try, like, right? And Jason kind of rejecting it and stuff. But maybe Jason saw the light here. Maybe this is a good shot at a winner. Sometimes you say, oh, it's a last shot. No, garbage on that. The guy's still in great shape. He's got plenty to offer, plenty to give. This is a great shot at a winner against teams that they know they can compete against singly. Maybe they've beaten them before, tag team. Why couldn't you do it? This could be big for the fellas. This could be big.
With you about 50%, Marky, because Jason Knoll's got to have that in the back of his head. We see him on the rewind week after week after week. He's been in this for a long time. No one's guaranteed another day. So maybe he's like, hey, I need to snatch this opportunity right now while it's here. With a bracket buster and an upset specialist like Briscoe, maybe it's his chance to hold gold one more time here in Rocky Mountain Pro.
The teams with the most success, in my opinion, covers all the bases. Speed, power, experience, youth. They got a shot at being something special, for sure.
I think just a big attitude change from Jason is going to be the big determining factor.
It's looking like it. I mean, he definitely felt bad that he couldn't make NRW. So
and then he made it right.
And then he made it
didn't
right.
Just stand there and say, "What do you want me to do? The hell with you!"
Yeah.
No, he went and made it right.
These guys were fighting for most of the year up until Milestone, and then after Milestone, it's all right. Let's bygones be bygones. Let's bury the hatchet and let's actually make something out of this.
Well, why keep fighting? I mean, I don't know if anybody ever had that same bully through school, but it gets to a point where why you keep fighting against the same guy? Why don't you guys team up? If you guys make that good of enemies,
and they had great matches, they had great matches this year.
The chemistry, the cohesion is there. Just work a tag into it, and guys could be wearing some gold in the near future.
It's a team that cease and desist definitely needs to pay attention to if they start getting hot. Well, let's see what happens next week against Chopper City.
That's big. That's a huge test. Huge test.
All right. Charge Championship on the line. This was almost the beginning of the end for Lucas on commentary for the most part. We had the prosecutor going up against Caden Koyama.
Well, Lucas, I'm not going to sit here and speak to how it all went because you're right. There was a lot of stuff going on. Slade kind of messed it up a little bit in the beginning. Let's just be honest about this. I'm not going to sit here and do all that other stuff and say, no, no. This is Caden Koyama. This was, for a little bit of it, the prosecutor had to play some possum in the beginning and then get back in. This was Caden Koyama's match. It got to a point where even the prosecutor kind of knew that he was outclassed. We've seen the prosecutor kind of run in and jump in the matches here, cause havoc and chaos there, but we've really never seen it go like bell to bell on purpose and then have a great match. And this is another example of that, where he just gets in the ring and is just completely outclassed by our charge champion. He wins with even another move. So we saw him win with the damn lion tamer. Okay, so this is one of the most versatile, one of the most like controlling. This man has a firm grip on the pulse of RMP right now, Lucas. He's winning in the ring. He's winning however he can win, and he's getting the respect and the accolades. And every single week, he just adds one more notch in the belt. Now, I think personally, and you can maybe speak to this later, but with all the crossings of law office and prosecutors with Koyama and all this other stuff, I really think Caden could have done far more damage in this match to the prosecutor, really gotten it out. But I think Caden was smart and don't work by the hour. Just get it done, get the win, and get the hell out of here with your championship, because anything else could have been a mistake. But I really think he could have added some insult, or I'm sorry, some injury and some more insult.
Caden's about the business right now. He's about his business, and that's going in, defending his title, moving on. Who's next? That's kind of the vibe that I've been getting from Caden Koyama. This is him just going to work. He's kind of not really too worried about all the other nonsense that might be going on. And right now, he seems to be he's got a little issue with Father Marquis and the congregation.
Yep.
He's got that to kind of worry about. So I don't think he's really too concerned about the past history with the prosecutor in the law office. I think he's moving on. He realizes he has other things to be concerned about. So
that's true.
He's just about his business. Coastal Caden Koyama just finding new ways to win every week. It just seems like he's almost trying to challenge himself of how he can win a match. Can he do something different this week? He's just finding new ways to keep himself challenged.
This one I was a little worried about, guys. As soon as I saw the orange wrist tape come out, I was like, oh God, JK Pop and the law office have history. Maybe this is the one he gets screwed on. Maybe Preston inserts himself here for the prosecutor. Maybe this is how Caden loses the title. But I was pleasantly surprised. No one showed up. Caden was able to win again, this time with a submission. He's finding new ways to win. And it's just further cementing my thought that this is the greatest charge title reign we've ever seen. He's taking on all comers. He's beat all walks of life. We saw him last week with a beast like Mawabe. This week with an unknown like the prosecutor. And I give it to Caden after the match. He tried to rip that gas mask off so we could finally see who this loser is. That, obviously is working with Preston. I'm sorry. The orange tape gave it away. So that's why I was worried. But Caden comes through again. I'm very, very excited to see who he faces next because I want to see how he's going to win. I don't think he's going to lose at this point. I don't know if Caden Koyama is capable of losing at this point. It's going to take outside interference or an act of God to make Caden drop that title.
I was going to say one-on-one, I think you're right. He's just showing that he is a jet engine. He is a turbocharged machine of charge championship that is just full steam and ahead, and nothing short of a brick wall is going to stop him.
Or Preston.
All right. Well, we have somebody in chat that showed up just in time. Marcio Santos.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We're right on the segment of Marcio and Lola in the car having their little conversation about everything that's going on. Fellas, what did you think?
Marcio is not taking anything.
And
that
mind your
Preston
P's and
says at
Q's
all.
because he is in chat.
Oh, I know he isn't, and I don't think he's taking anything Preston says is any truthful at all. I think he's waiting to see proof. I think that's how Marcio operates. He is a professional. He wants proof. He wants backing. He wants solid things. And right now, Preston has fed people lies for 2.5 years now. Honestly, it's been 2.5 years that Preston has just fed lie after lie after lie to get what he wants. He's making deals with everybody to try and make himself better. He's squeezing and squeezing. You know what they say about squeezing too hard? It all slips through your fingers because there's nowhere to go. I honestly think Preston has written checks that his behind can't cash. I think one of those was to Marcio. And until Marcio understands why Damon came out in that cease and desist shirt, why cease and desist was at ringside for his match with Damon, I don't think any of this is settled. I don't think he trusts Preston. I don't care what Lola says, Marky. You can't trust Preston as far as you can throw him. And I'm pretty sure that Marcio could probably throw him into the great province of Utah at this point.
Excellent reference at the end of that, by the way. And I believe you're right, but see, here's the thing. Lola is laying very, very heavily into the fact of trust the process. Trust the process. Now, if you're Marcio Santos, you have two sides of things that you can look at, and I think I know where you're coming from. It's very easy to look at when Damon Ace came out in the cease and desist shirt and start to thinking that all the roads lead back to Preston, no matter which way he gave you directions, they all lead back to what he wants. But then again, when you look at the rest of the people who are around you telling you to trust it, they all have gold. They all have gold. And they've all been
Yeah, and
told one
Restream's
thing, and they all
up.
got it. Now, Anderson,
I
I know,
what
doesn't
you
have
want
the
me to tell you.
NRW
It
title,
keeps
but he
changing the
did.
title on me.
But yes, he did. And there was a short period of time when they all had gold. And I think that's something that Marcio can't ignore. And I think that would be foolish to ignore that, to be honest. It's something about trusting your gut. I totally get it. But there's also something about looking around. And even if you don't like the road that somebody took to get there, the fact that what they showed up with, the Rocky Mountain Pro Tag Team Championships, the Lockettes Championship, these are titles that are signifying the best of the company are here. So I can understand the potential mind job of him not trusting his eyes, but also not trusting his heart either. I can completely understand how that works. Marcio's probably not used to being in this predicament. And I got to say, Marcio, if you want the massholes advice, which you probably don't, and that's fine, but I would trust your gut more than I would trust superficial, quick results. That's only my opinion because we've been here and we've seen it happen. However, the idea of becoming champion has to happen before you keep it for a long time, Lucas. And I think that this is the situation that Preston offers. He gives no guarantees, but at the same point, if you hang around long enough, look what has happened. So I don't know.
It's part of the it's part of the hazard of doing business with Preston. He's going to offer you the world and promise you that this and that and he's gonna make you feel good about it at the moment, and then some things are gonna go down that aren't on the up and up, and then he's got you questioning it, and that's the problem with doing business with Preston is it's never cut and dry. There's always a catch to everything. There's always a different U-turn and a different fork in the road, and it's I don't mean to be harsh about this, but when you make a business deal with Preston, that sometimes you might get screwed, you might get burned, and but Marcio's one guy that. Why would you want to burn Marcio Santos, for crying out loud? Like,
right.
So I'm gonna guess that Preston, even though he's a slime ball, he's more intelligent than to piss off a guy like Marcio Santos, because Marcio Santos is a guy that he could end you like that, a snap of a finger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little weirded out by Marcio's comment here. Who doesn't he trust with the hat?
probably me because I made the comment about trusting your heart or your gut.
Well,
And
he's
that-
well, there's probably either the Duke Blue Devil hat or the Boston Red Sox hat that he's not
Now
too
listen,
much of a fan of.
I can tell Marcio from experience about trust because I put more trust into sports teams than I probably should. Because let's face it, the Sox break your heart a lot. The Cowboys break my heart every damn year. Duke seems to break my heart in the Final Four every year. I put a lot of trust in things that don't work out, Marcio. So if you're not trusting me, trust JK Pop. Ask them how it happens when you put your trust in Preston. Ask Dylan Anderson when you get the towel thrown in on you. And then everybody else celebrates when you don't have gold. Everybody else gets to celebrate, but you don't. Just saying.
I got a funny feeling he likes both teams and he's just mad at people and he's taking it out on us. And you know what? Go ahead, Mazio. Go ahead. Get it out. This is a very confusing time. This is very conflicting with all the things pulling you from side to side. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not going to tell you why you're wrong. Go ahead.
All right. Are we all set with Marcio over here?
If he's
Yeah.
all set with us, yep.
All right. For those of
I
you who
learned my
are,
lesson. I learned my
Okay.
lesson a few years ago. We're not doing this again.
all right, for those of you watching on YouTube, I don't know what happened with the stream. I set up the stream a few hours in advance. Apparently, it erased the title and possibly the thumbnail. I just had to redo it. It's the second week in a row that it's done it. It is not my doing. I am done with technology. When AI shows up full time, we're fucked. Anyways, let's continue on.
Who's Captain Cheeseburger? Real quick.
What's
Who
that?
the hell is Captain Cheeseburger?
Captain Cheeseburger.
Who
What are
the
you
hell is-
talking about?
Groovy Glizzy.
Groovy Glizzy or Grizzly.
Oh, I got
Grizzly. Yeah,
Three,
you got
four
the
eyes, and
letters.
Captain Cheeseburger. Am I Captain Cheeseburger? Because you better put bacon on that shit if you're gonna call me Captain Cheeseburger. I'm a deluxe. Think about that.
Oh, great! I didn't know I needed
Great
advice.
audience of bacon.
That's
It's
great.
okay, Masio.
That's great.
It's okay, Masio. I own the
Yeah,
referees.
it's
Yeah, that is
Groovy Grizzly
Marcio.
is
Yeah,
much
because it's the
the
same
same.
comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll order yours deluxe,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
This is why, once again, we get in trouble. It happens every year.
If I'm gonna be a cheeseburger, I want to be a big cheeseburger.
Just make
I'm a
okay.
big
Just next time we go down there, make sure you don't make any bets beforehand.
Make any bets with what?
Just don't make any more bets.
Okay.
Do us all a favor. All right.
What when I kiss Johnny Casanova's foot, who mind you has gold right now,
You
I
made
kiss Champion's foot. Why
you-
not?
that foot was in the toilet, and you
Yeah,
literally
gold
made out
medal.
with it while
I
dancing.
didn't make out with it.
While dancing to the chicken dance with Happy.
Huh? Well, I had fun, didn't I?
The first half you did. All right. Tag team action, Coles. We might as well stay with you and keep you the focus here on this show. The Reckless going up against Father Marquis and Miwambe. Or Wabe. That's right. No M. Wabe.
No, it is Miwabe.
Miwabe.
Miwabe. Yes. Miwabe.
There are way too many vowels in this name.
I was worried for Reckless because Miwabe and the father, they have a lot of experience. The Reckless are still young. Let's face it, the size
All right,
was
hold
not
up. Oh,
there.
sorry, Coastal. I have to interrupt. We have a fan that's poking all the bears here in chat. Hunter, stand down, my friend. Stand down. You're poking everybody. You're poking everybody in your sights right now. Relax, dude.
Sometimes you gotta pick your battles there.
Right.
Hunter. Yep.
All right. Continue.
No, I was honestly worried for the Reckless on this. You know, the experience wasn't in their favor. The size certainly wasn't in their favor. But I'll tell you what, these guys, they are resilient. They come to play every single time they step in that squared circle. They are very much there in the big moments. They take a beating. But I'll tell you what, tonight they came out on top. I think this was a massive, massive win for them. I thought that this puts them right back up there with cease and desist, with Chopper City, and with Jason Knoll and Briscoe. I really thought that this victory marquee for them puts them right back in title contention. I know they lost last week in a title shot, but they beat a tag team that's been on OVW. They beat a tag team that has much more experience. And they beat a guy in Mwabe who just challenged for the Charge title a week before that as well.
Yep.
This can only help them and send them to the moon, honestly.
Oh, straight up, 1,000,000%. Everything that the Reckless has been showing since they've been back and back as this cohesive unit, they've really not lost a step. If anything, they've gained 2 or 3. The new moves that we see, we're not just seeing that beautiful like wheelbarrow slam that they did before, that tag team finisher at the end with the splash and the neck breaker. Like these kids are really, really putting the instruction manual of the Reckless together, one match at a time, and really coming out with a product that we all want to see and we all want to buy, and it's only going up. Their stock is going up, and eventually their competition is going to go up, and the stakes are going to go up, Lucas. And I really don't think that they're too far away from that, given the experience that they've had. However, they're still involved in this wicked, tumultuous tag team division that's going on right now. They're not getting lost in any shuffles, but a win like this keeps their name involved in the upper echelon of things, even though there's a whole bunch of other people that are putting their names in the upper echelon of things. So I think the Reckless are really trying to keep these wins going and keep their claims staked as somebody that is not to be trifled.
Well, this was not only a big win on, the Rocky Mountain Pro level, but you talked about it last week. We've talked about it. Father Marquis and Mwabe. They are nationally known. They've been, they're not just some regional tag team. This is a tag team that travels, has gotten, the Congregation is a major player throughout the middle United States. So for the Reckless to get a win over this caliber of opponent, that's big time. Yeah, not only for their ranking here, but just now they've opened some eyes, and there's going to be, a lot of people now have their sights set on the Reckless. Mm-hmm. Reckless is now a team that is on everyone's radar. Sometimes that's a good thing, but but with a young tag team as they are, they're a little inexperienced still. They've got to be careful, because now you no longer fly under the radar. When you get wins like this, we all know that Jay Camacho has pulled off huge upsets. These guys are no longer going to catch people by surprise. I think that time's over with.
That's a fair point too. That's a very fair point too. They've been coming back and just kind of facing people for the first time. But you're right, second time around the batting order in a baseball game is usually a lot different. That's a very good point.
But hear me out. I think they want to be noticed. I don't think they want to fly under the radar. I think they want to be in the forefront of everybody's mind. So I think this is exactly what they wanted.
All right. I just got to chuckle real quick. All right.
There's a couple of good comments.
Yeah, there was a couple good ones in there. Yeah,
that last little slew of 10 of them.
Yeah.
There was a few really good ones.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, speaking of the law office, it looks like you're going to have multiple issues coming up very soon. Just saying. You have Zamore basically planning on taking that NRW title back. And what we find out after that segment with Zamore, Marcio, I know you're still in chat. Don't be surprised if you get a phone call from the lawyer at some point this week about what's going to happen next week at the NRW championship match. Just make sure if you accept the lawyer, make sure he he does you right by giving you what you want as well, because this is going to be a hard
At least get
ask.
payment up front.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard ask coming up right now. Damon apparently is going to be involved in a stunt double match and will be taking Johnny Casanova's place for the NRW Championship match next week with Dylan Anderson. So
He certainly is, isn't he? It's just like old times, isn't it? Guys got guys' backs. I think, hey, I'm starting to think maybe this was all a thing. Who knows? Like, Johnny knows what to do. I think Johnny and Damon maybe have talked. I think Damon wants a fight. I think that Damon doesn't like the law office too much. I think Damon's playing mind games with everybody at this point. I think the man thinks at I just think we call him violently intelligent. I think he is a demonic genius at this point because he's got Marcio every which way but loose. He changes you when you go in the ring with him mentally. And I think maybe Johnny is trying to play the same game as Damon. He, hey, you want me to put my career on the line? Hey, go out and defend my title. Because, guys, Johnny's trying to figure out if he's really in cahoots with the law office and he loses, Johnny doesn't lose his career. Johnny's hurt right now. He'll come back. He'll get another shot. It's only fair. So I don't think he's going to lose, though. I don't think Damon's part of the law office. I think Damon is just playing mental games with everyone at this point. And I think Johnny caught on and said, you know what? I'm going to jump on that mental train with you. And I'm going to play some games with going through you. I'm not saying he's using Damon because no one can use Damon. I just think he's thinking on the same wavelength as Damon at this point. And I think Dylan Anderson is in trouble because Damon does not lose. He will not take a dive. He's not going to lose. You're going to get the same Damon you get every time because he just wants mass destruction across the board. Now, where this could be trouble for Johnny Markey is if Mr. Professional inserts himself in this match. But we haven't heard the stipulations yet. So if the law office is barred from ringside, that still doesn't discount Marcio. But it's still something Damon has to think about. But I think Marcio is on the forefront of Damon's mind.
Marcio was definitely on Damon's mind. I think the NRW Championship is on Damon Ace's mind. I think Johnny Casanova is definitely. I think Damon Ace has the world on his mind because I think Damon is trying to conquer the world one championship at a time. Few welcome. You say, how do we know Damon so well? Because we've known him longer than you and a little more personally than you. That's how.
Especially Mark.
Yes. So I think there's a whole lot of cross psychology in going on here, right? I think you got Damon Ace trying to work his way back in after not even feeling like he should have been suspended, but even though he was to make an example of, he was. And I do believe it was made an example of, but you start at the top. Damon ate it, and okay, fine. Now he's coming back and he's looking for a fight, and here we go. Casanova puts one in front of him. When has Damon ever said no? This is Casanova twofold. Number one, I really think he played not so much a game with Damon, but I think Damon even recognized what Johnny did. I did that to you. All right, you're going to do it to me. Watch how much better I do than you did. That's just Damon. I can always outmatch you and beat you. The second thing had nothing to do with Damon Ace. The second thing was Johnny Casanova knowing that if he got Damon Ace to do this, his law office problems are over. Because Dylan Anderson is going to have a really hard time surviving an encounter with Damon Ace. And especially if Preston Skidmore or even Cease and Desist get involved, it's going to take them all to take out Damon Ace. There's a whole lot. There's so much crossing right here, Lucas. To me, it's very, very difficult to find one clear path of who is doing what, except for the fact that I think Damon will just never walk away from a fight. Damon is always looking at himself as wanting to be the center of the world, and everybody else is just a bit player in somebody else's part. Do you see anything more in this other than this Damon wants to fight?
Damon wants to fight. I think that is the main thing, and Casanova was smart enough to know that and to know the situation and to know exactly what the loopholes are in this NRW division and being the NRW champion. He knew the loopholes. And we saw D'Lo Brown and Mercury Yaden. They were a little upset that Casanova kind of took advantage of a loophole in the rule that you get to make a stipulation. It was never the intention.
Damon Ace
for
did
the
that a
NRW
few weeks
champion.
ago.
I know.
But it started becoming this after a while. It was always the stipulation would be named, but now all of a sudden champions are just coming out and saying, this is what I want to do.
So, so this is gonna stop, I believe. But for now, Casanova took advantage of a little window, and this was a genius move by Casanova. It's a win-win situation for him, and bravo to him. He knows he's in no condition to defend that title anytime soon, and this was the best way to kind of get Preston off your back. You can maybe even get a little dig into Damon Ace, because Damon is not going to come out unscathed in this matchup. Is Damon an absolute beast? Yes, but we know that Dylan Anderson, we can't just write him off here, guys. Dylan Freed Anderson is a psychopath as much as Damon Ace is. He's an absolute psychopath, and he's willing to sacrifice his own damn body, his own life for that title. We know that. So I think we can't write him off. And so he's going to get his licks onto Damon Ace. Damon Ace is going to be in a damn war against an actual warrior, a guy who serves the United States military in Dylan Anderson. The guy is a tough SOB, and I think it's we're doing him a disservice by kind of just writing him off and assuming that Damon Ace is just going to roll right through him. That's not going to be the case. This is going to be an all-out war on Charge next week.
All right. Oh, I didn't know the VOD actually does YouTube to Twitch as well. That's convenient. Okay. So everybody can see everybody's messages. Nice. All right.
Pretty much. Yep.
We move on. We saw the teaser again for a few weeks from now in September. We're not going to speculate until that date gets closer, but it did appear again. And poor Kevin. Kevin is hopefully still with us. I don't know exactly what happened after the blackout, but we hope that Kevin's okay. Trying to catch up with Kevin Koa.
Savage.
Kevin on Kevin.
All right. You know what? Because you said that, the captain has to take initiative, as always. I want to give a good shout out to Slade for doing an awesome job in getting all those interviews towards the end of the show. Very good interviews. Very good interviews. With Punkin Morgan and Bryce 5 and all those guys.
Oh, yeah, that cease and desist interview was awesome. Yeah.
What about the cease and desist interview where she could have been a fart in the wind and no one paid attention to her?
Yeah.
It's not my fault that you have two guys that were a bunch of assholes. I mean, I'm sorry.
You know, Eric Ray, I will say
Preston's fault.
They were very disrespectful. How disrespectful can you be to say that she could be my daughter? She cannot be my daughter. That is so disrespectful to me. That she would be a much better journalist if she was my daughter.
Because you weren't old enough to have a daughter that old. Come on now.
Actually, I got kids
trying to help you.
You're not. It's there ain't nothing you can do.
Coastal Lucas is already dead in the water ever since that quote came out of his mouth tonight. Wait, I have it written down here on my notes. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Titus was right about everything.
I can't help you on that one, Lucas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't my best moment.
Definitely was not your best moment.
No, it wasn't.
I don't even know how you're going to recover from that one there.
I'll figure out a way.
You better come up with something. All right.
Hey, I made it back from David Drake's basement. I can get out of this.
That is true.
True.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, even the captain can't argue with that one. All right, Bryce 5 going up against Stanley Logan.
You talk about some emotions in this match. We talk about how Bryce 5 even got put out on the shelf. You talk about that chair to the knee, and you talk about how Bryce was on the way back, and now here we are. He gets his shot back against Stanley Logan, and he didn't wait. He didn't even wait for the bell, man. And I can't say I blame the kid. Normally we see him, and he's already this human bundle of adrenaline that he normally is, but it was ×3 on the way in. He didn't even wait for the ring. Jumps him in the corner and just gets the match going. And I think Stanley Logan deserves all of this. Usually it's like, dude, why'd you wait for the bell? But in this point, you put a dude out for so long after a match the way you did last time. Nah, you deserve every bit of this. Calderon runs his own little interference in the corner, but it really doesn't amount to a whole hell of a lot. Bryce regains control. He's just too fast. You know, whenever Logan does get a quick little advantage, he tries to slow the match down, but Bryce is just too fast with the moves, the standing moonsaults, the running knees. I mean, the kid is just lightning in a bottle personified. At the end, he ends up getting the win with his sliced bread maneuver, but this time, instead of going up the turnbuckles and walking up, he walks up Eric Calderon's chest off the rope because Calderon came to the ring to try to mess with the ref or whatnot. So thanks for the assist, El Chingon. But Bryce 5 gets the win. This is big for Bryce, as we saw earlier. He's still looking to come back. He's still emotional about the loss and how much time he lost, but he kept it together after the fast start out there and Coastal. The sky's back to the limit with this kid. The Cruiserweight division and Rocky Mountain Pro, some of the smaller, faster guys are just off the chart. And all Bryce does is just add some adrenaline to that. So, like, kid, here we go.
Absolutely, 100%. And I really think here between El Chingon and Mr. Stanley Logan is they're jealous because they understand what a force Bryce 5 is going to be. This guy is just off the charts with his high flying and his ability in the ring. And when he ends up getting the XP bar to go with it, absolutely the sky's the limit. I mean, he is an innovator when it comes to offense. We saw that with the sliced bread off another human being tonight. I really think that this isn't over by far because we know that El Chingon and Stanley Logan Lucas are going to take some not so high roads to get back at him. But at this point, Lucas, I don't know if you agree with me. I think Bryce 5, we said it a couple weeks, he needs somebody to help him here because 2-on-1, he's never going to fare that well against these two.
Well, what better guy can you have to have your back than the Ignition champion? Throw them twos up because he's there. Throw up twos, throw up the fives. We got all the numbers covered because
throw up the 7. Throw up a 7.
Lucky number 7. There you go.
Team name. Lucky 7.
Lucky
Put
7.
it on a T-shirt. I do it once a week. I do it once a week.
You know, Two Dame is trying to get his tag team partner Southside Sammy to make it to some shows so they could do some things. But hey, he can get another tag team partner at least in the meantime. Bryce 5, Two Dame James, that would be something. I would like to see that match if Bryce 5 and Two Dame against El Chingon and Stan the Man. That would be a hell of a match. So
it just
I'm looking forward to it.
It just makes sense numerically. It just does.
Yeah.
Two Dame has
Call
exactly
them the
zero
$7
dimes.
bills.
What's that?
Call them the $7 bills. Two Dame is
Ooh.
exactly zero.
I
dimes.
also
Somebody's gonna have to go get a shitload of dimes. 10 points if you know that movie, Reyes.
all right.
do.
I do want to give a quick shout out. Sonny had a pretty good comment that made me chuckle a tad over here.
Sonny.
Oh yeah. So which is higher, Johnny's voicemails or number of times Lucas hates on Slade?
Johnny's voicemails because Preston is insufferable.
It's a pick 'em.
Well, pick 'em. So you admit it.
Yeah.
So you admit it.
I admit it. I am not denying anything. You're absolutely right. I'm owning it. I have my reasons. You don't like my reasons, but I have my reasons, and
So
I'm gonna.
what's your reasons then?
I feel how I feel.
What's
I've
your
already explained my reasons.
kind of
I've
kinda
explained my
no.
reasons. No, yes, I have. I've already said I believe that she's here to take my job. I don't like the fact that she just gets, these spots right, just
She probably
just on
doesn't
the
even
jump.
know that
She
you're
didn't have to
talking
earn
bad
it.
about her half the time. Imagine if she does get wind of it.
You think I care? When have I ever
See,
cared? I've always
it's
I've always
that
stated my
attitude
opinion.
right there that's gonna put you in a lot of trouble, sir.
And well, that's been my life. Always in trouble. It's what you get when you're an honest journalist. Some people are not gonna like what you got to say, but you got to say it anyways.
Mhm.
And
Did you at least reach out to a therapist? Did you do what Yaden told you to do last week?
I got a hold of my old therapist that I called it when I got kidnapped, not once but twice, and yeah, the appointments have been scheduled.
I think there
I
definitely
hope
needs
it
to
goes
be.
well.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be something there, and I think at some point soon there has to be a little bit of a conversation or a confrontation with you and Slade at some point down the line.
Already said I am open to it. I'm willing to
'Cause-
have a conversation.
Because as one person would say, it's just not good for business, sir.
Depends. It's good for my business.
All right. We need a therapist ASAP. Anyway, we move on. All right. We had Lola and Punk and Morgan again. Slade coming in with a decent interview with Punkin, getting her mindset on what's going to happen next week in that Lock Gets Championship match against Lola. So that's something to look forward to next week for sure. We have another title up for grabs. Next week's going to be a big show. Big show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
So, got at least 2, possibly 3 if the Charge Championship keeps on being defended every week. So that's 3 title defenses next week on episode 462. So make sure you tune into YouTube for that.
And one champion is defending a completely different championship, so 4 championships will be on display.
You know what? That
Good for
is
him.
right. That is
It's
accurate.
a weird
Yes.
Rubik's Cube of 7 degrees of Kevin Championship Bacons, whatever that means. But yes, this next week is very, very interesting for Rocky Mountain Pro.
And we have our main event that we still have to talk about in this episode. Hunter Gray going up against Kevin Koa. What a fight that was.
This was the epitome of big dude or 2 very tough guys fighting each other because they're both unhinged. One is from the woods, one is from a different, completely violent reality. And I was surprised that no one got knocked unconscious in this match because I expected these 2 to throw everything they had at each other, and they did. The difference, guys, in my opinion, was Kevin Koa's ability to outsmart Hunter Gray. He was able to go outside, kind of get him to chase him around when things weren't going right, and he was able to use his quickness, he was able to use his agility, and he was able to beat Hunter Gray tonight because of that, because of his in-ring IQ. I know we haven't seen Hunter Gray in a long time. I know we've seen him in the past have some very good in-ring IQ matches, but this one I think he was just trying to look for a fight with a guy he thought he could just fight. And Marky, Kevin Koa surprised me here. He had a big plan in this, and it worked out well for him. He got a big win, and he's well on his way for that Shocktober match with Mr. Damon Ace.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much, though. It definitely wasn't plan A. Plan A in this match was stand toe-to-toe with everybody like you have done so far, Kevin Koa. And then
You're
you
gonna have a
stood...
bad time.
You stood eye to eye, and then all you did was eat 4 or 5 of Hunter Gray's headbutts and found out that they're like redwood trees taking you out. And then you're right. After the big power displays back and forth, Hunter Gray has an obvious advantage here because it is just power versus power. And I think you're right. The complexity, the whole landmark of this, the landscape of this match changed when Koa took a walk. He took a walk outside, got Hunter to chase him. I don't know if it was to get him to chase him or to just take a breath, but in that moment he reacted, came back in the ring, and pretty much had the advantage for the rest of the match. Don't get me wrong, there was a couple moments that Hunter came back with the big clubs and things, but then with that running knee at the end, that Kinshasa-like knee at the very end of it, that match, he's going to win a lot of matches, including against big dudes like Hunter Gray. But maybe in a month or two from now, Hunter's still around. He's wrestled a few of these guys. Like I said, we've talked about what happens the first time through the batting order. You're not exactly familiar with people. You're getting used to it. Hunter's got all that experience. I don't think by any means this hurts Hunter Gray, because at the very end of the match, Hunter kicked out right afterwards and chased Koa out of the building. So I don't know if this is over. I don't know if this is just going to be something Koa is going to have to deal with until Shocktober, when he does have the biggest match of his career against Damon Ace. But Lucas, knowing Hunter Gray as long as you've known Hunter, and you guys have been boys for a wicked long time, it's good to see Hunter back in the ring. How do you think his chances of, even in this point in his career, stepping up and facing some of these modern day Rocky Mountain Pro stars like Kevin Koa, like Damon Ace, even guys like Dustin Urich, who've been around since the NRW days, but maybe they haven't seen each other in 8 to 10 years? What do you think Hunter Gray's kind of going through right now, coming back into the locker room all these years later?
I don't think it's bothered him at all. I think that he is a guy that is just kind of adapts to whatever environment he's in. You know, that's he's out living in the woods. He doesn't give a damn about, you know, who's been around. He's still has kept very active. Obviously, still in as good of shape as he's ever been. I don't think that you know, any of this. I don't think any of this is going to affect him. He's not exactly a guy who overthinks in the ring. He's just a guy who just attacks.
No,
just goes on the offensive. Yeah, and so I don't think anything's like playing mind games with him. I just think that, and I've kind of have said this in the past couple of weeks. I think that we've been selling Kevin Koa a little bit short. If this match doesn't prove to you that Kevin Koa is in that category, he beat a guy the caliber of Hunter Gray, who is as physically imposing as anybody we've ever had in the history of the company. He was able to defeat a guy like that. That shows you that he is ready for this matchup. And he's also a thinking man's wrestler. You said it, Maki, that his the turning point of this matchup was when he took that walk on the outside of the ring. That was him using his brains. He's an intelligent wrestler on top of being a physically imposing guy himself. He's got all the necessary tools, and we know that he's also a very violent man as well. This is and we're seeing him improve each and every week as well. This is going to be a lot tougher test for Damon Ace than I think we initially thought.
That's fair. That's fair. If Koa brings this,
Indeed.
and then some, indeed.
Oh, look who it is. It's our favorite lawyer. Welcome, welcome.
That's an oxymoron.
Says he read the comments. Looks like Lucas has finally embraced the hate.
Yeah, I hate you too, Preston.
Oh, there it is. Embracing a lot of hate on this show.
Owning it.
Yeah.
Don't run from it.
Might as well.
Own it.
Yep.
Own it. Own it.
All right. Well, that is going to conclude this episode of 461. Coastal or Marky or Lucas, final thoughts on this episode before we have Lucas talking about another busy weekend coming up.
This is
Or
a
next
really
week.
good episode of Charge. It sets up a lot of things. We got a bunch of big title matches next week, 3 of them. One of them, as Marky said, the champion isn't even defending the belt. It's another champion defending the belt. My advice in that match, and I mean this with all due respect, Marcio, don't get involved because Damon will change people. You don't want to be on that side of Damon.
I'm looking at right now what this whole side of RMP is kind of doing to D'Lo Brown and Mercury Yaden, who are trying to get a damn handle on this rule book. As an RMP referee, I'm very, very interested in the results and the things of what's happening right now. And the landscape is changing. This is the first time in a long time that we've seen a decision go back after the decision a week after and have it be changed. So this is a lot that's changing in a rule structure in a tumultuous time in RMP when everything is going around in circles, kind of like one of those lottery wheels that the little number balls fall out of. There's all kinds of different things falling out of that cage. And among them all is the future of Rocky Mountain Pro. What's the number going to be? I don't know.
Yeah, this we're in this time now, guys. Shocktober is kind of in our sights, and there is we've already got a lot of things to look forward to. This is kind of seems to be the earliest that a lot of things have already started to shape up for Shocktober. We already have our main event. We know that there's we already kind of know some of the number one contenders for each of the titles are already kind of in place, even though matches haven't necessarily been set. But yeah, next week there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be shaken out on the next charge. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Get
Uh,
your tickets ready.
I got to do one more plug, but before I do that, Lucas, do we have anything coming up?
Yeah, it's Sunday. We are back in Conifer, Colorado, the Snowpack Tap Room. Beautiful Conifer, Colorado. 4:00 is the start time. We're going to be taping Ignition. Show is free to get in. No, the admission is free. Enjoy some of the best pizza in the mountains at Snowpack Tap Room. And yeah, it should be, weather's supposed to be pretty nice. We've been getting a lot of rain lately, so hopefully the rain kind of stays away, but the temperatures have been perfect. So should be a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you guys up there in Conifer.
Hell yeah. Beautiful place for a show. Up in the mountains, gorgeous views. My God, gorgeous views.
All right. Now that we have everybody here, I know I did this at the beginning, but we're going to do this at the end as well. It's too bad I don't have my mixer board like I used to. Otherwise, I do the voice changer, and I actually would sound legit over the intercom, but here goes nothing. Psst. This is Captain A-Hole speaking. If you don't believe me, it says it on my hat right there. See? Just to let everybody who came in during the show. Now that we're at the end of the show, I want to say that the Dudes and Belts are live every week, starting on Thursday with Recharge at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. over in the mountain regions. Then we're live on Sunday with the Rocky Mountain Rewind. We go back in time, way back in time. We're talking early 2010s time, man. All the way back in the NRW days. We start that show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. over in the Rocky Mountain regions. And once again, as always, wherever you are around the world, do the freaking math. Because I can't keep tabs on everybody. That is the end of the public service announcement from yours truly, Captain A-Hole.
Thank you, Captain.
I like it.
Thank you.
Well done, sir.
Yes.
Well done. Well done.
Captain Asshole signing off. All right, here we go. YouTube and Rumble. We will see you guys on Sunday for another episode of the Rocky Mountain Rewind. I believe we will be back to the 2 episodes. I don't think the next couple episodes are going to be too long, as we are getting close to 2016, which will prove to be a very important year for NRW/Rocky Mountain Pro. So, I think we're like a couple weeks away, actually, from New Year's Revolution, so that's coming up pretty fast. I think that's it for us. So, YouTube and Rumble, we appreciate you guys watching, as always. For myself, Johnny Deathdrop, a.k.a. Captain Asshole, now officially, Colts Crusader, Marky Pins, and Lucas Bradwell, Slade Hater himself, the Titus Lover. We will see you guys on Sunday for another episode of The Rewind. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, folks.